Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is May the 29th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully, you've had a good Thursday. I know for me, mine has gone pretty well. No complaints. We started off, the usual. We wake up, we go to work. Work wasn't too bad. I will say I had a bit of back pain, which was a bit annoying, bit of a bother. But took some Advil, kind of just tried to get through the day. Um, at some point, I want to say it was my lunch break. So it kind of came out of nowhere because I take my lunch break very late. These days I'm taking it around 3 o'clock. And so I was just hanging out and I see this box. It's this box of bread. And I'm like, is this bread free? I'm thinking this to myself. And I eye it a little bit. And it's at a table with, some people there eating. And so I go up to it and I kind of start rifling through it, just looking at it. And they kind of look at me and I look at them and I'm kind of giving them the eye is this free? And I noticed that there's this mixed reaction of either they don't know or what I'm interpreting as who would want to eat this? Who would want this? Who would want what's in that box? And so I'm a little hesitant. I'm feeling a little, nervous and shy. I'm over here inspecting this bread like I want some, like I'm some kind of fucking street rat. And eventually someone says, "Oh yeah, you can have some. It's free bread. We just, it's not ours or anything, but we just know it's free." And I'm like, "Hey, that's all I needed to hear." And I nervously am trying to untie this bag of bagels, cause I just want it. I want what's inside, y'all. From what I could tell, they had a couple of loaves of bread in there. They had a bag of bagels. One was a sesame bagel. The other one was an everything bagel, and another random assortment, whatever was in there. I grabbed the best looking everything bagel that I could get, and proceed to scurry on off. And I eat this thing with no butter, with no cream cheese. I don't even heat it up. I don't even bother. I'm just ripping this thing up and just eating it because I just wanted it so bad. Not to mention, I'm already splurging on myself because I wanted an extra bag of chips. I got the, the Frito Honey Twist. Y'all know I love a good honey twist every once in a while. That is such a good little chip. I will say, my gripe, my beef with the Frito-Lay in general, is that corn chip aftertaste. I never like it. But that being said, the honey twist and the chili cheese also gets an honorable mention here, are worth that taste. They're worth the extra aftermath that comes with the chip. So I have this, and let me tell you the triumvirate. Let me finish off this picture for you. So I got a bag of these honey twists. I got everything bagel that has everything but some goddamn butter. And then I have 2 little cups of coffee because that's just what I'm on. That's just the kind of guy I am in 2025. Okay, y'all? And I gotta say, I was fine with that snack. Did I feel a little guilty? Did I feel a little fat because I'm cheating on my little diet or whatever? A little, but you know what? Skill says I'm okay. I say I'm okay. Most importantly, that's what matters the most. And it's all good. It's all gravy, baby. Man, some gravy would hit. Some gravy would hit. But anyway, that being said, work was solid. It was good. No real complaints. After the bagel and chips, actually, I feel like I rallied. All of a sudden, what back pain? What problem? The food is powering me up, y'all. It's crazy. After work, we go to the gym. Gym is pretty good. I will say it was annoying because I like to get on a Smith machine and run more or less half of my exercises just off of that. And so whenever that's taken up, it's a bummer. But I will say it wasn't as busy as the rest of the week has been. That being said, it was busy enough, with all the influx of other people from other gyms and whatnot. Definitely enough people in the room to be like, okay, let Let me get through this and just get out of here. But overall, the workout was good. It was solid, no complaints, and I'm feeling good. I'm ready. I hopefully tomorrow the Smith machine is open. The free weights are gonna be open because it's heavy lift day. Heavy lift day. So that'll hopefully be good. You know, vibes up for that. Anyway. That's more or less all we got on the personal stuff. I've honestly gone a little bit long for the amount that we have to cover today. There's a lot of news that I wanted to try to chop through. So let's go ahead and get the startup going, and we'll get into it. Doo-ba-da-doo. All right. So, honestly, truly, half of this episode is Trump related. If you're burnt out on that, I completely understand. Hit that fast forward button, or hey, we've passed the minute mark. I understand. My lurkers, my little clickers, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I understand. I too get sick of talking about the Orange Man. But things are happening, and I want to try to cover at least as much as I can. Right? That is the goal of this, right? Anyway, at least our prime directive when it comes to the news tip. From CNN, Harvard grads celebrate while its lawyers eke out another reprieve for international students. Diplomas and a court decision. Harvard University held its 2025 commencement ceremony as a federal district judge in a Boston courtroom 6 miles away said she will order the Trump administration not to make any changes to Harvard's student visa program indefinitely. The battle over international students is just one front in the broader ideological war between the White House and American colleges, with Harvard the central foe. Harvard also is suing the government over its freeze of $2.2 billion in federal money after the Ivy League school refused to take steps including eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, banning masks at protests, and enacting merit-based hiring and admissions changes. Also, with the added focus of hey, you guys aren't doing enough to combat anti-Semitism, let alone we don't care about Islamophobia or anything like that. That's whatever. But the anti-Semitism, that's got to stop, okay? You've got to do something or we will. Also, I've heard a little bit of details too about how Harvard before they kind of kicked off saying hey, we're not going to take this line down. We're going to fight back. We're not going to go out like Columbia or whatever. But they were in talks with the Trump administration trying to kind of come to a compromise. And inevitably, either it was leaked, accident sent to the administration, or not the administration. It was sent from the administration to Harvard, or this was just a tactic or whatever. But essentially they said, no, you are going to have to be fully compliant with us. You're going to have to allow Stephen Miller, who is a part of the cabinet or, the Trump administration staff, whatever the fuck. I guess staff's probably more apt than cabinet, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he was essentially supposed to be almost like this czar over the school. And I imagine maybe over other Ivy League schools, big schools that they feel are too woke, too problematic, whatever. And it's that was the straw that broke the camel's back. They're there's no way we can be this compliant with this administration. We cannot go along with everything and anything they say. We have to draw a line somewhere. This is where we're going to draw it. And they said, oh, we weren't even supposed to send you that. That was an accident. Why are you bugging? But anyway, since you did say this, we are going to go full tilt on you, and we're going to try to take away all of your money. And any kind of funding that we're giving you or allowing, we're going to try to get in the way and stop because you're now being defiant. Nah, you're caught. So I wanted to give an update here. I'm happy that at least we have, a judge saying, hey, this isn't on the level. That being said, most of the shit I'm talking about today and wind up talking about, this always is a temporary thing. It's an indefinite thing. It's going to have to move up to an even higher court, probably eventually the Supreme Court. And then we can kind of maybe have an actual understanding of what Trump can and can't do. But speaking of things he can and cannot do, let's move on to the next thing. From the Associated Press, What happens to Trump's tariffs now that a court has knocked them down? President Donald Trump has audaciously claimed virtually unlimited power to bypass Congress and impose sweeping taxes on foreign products. Now a federal court has thrown a roadblock in his path. A 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of International Trade ruled Wednesday that Trump overstepped his authority when he invoked the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act to declare a national emergency and plaster taxes on imports from almost every country in the world. The ruling was a big setback for Trump, whose erratic trade policies have rocked financial markets, paralyzed businesses with uncertainty, and raised fears of higher prices and slower economic growth. But Trump's trade wars are far from over. The Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit on Thursday allowed the president to temporarily continue collecting the tariffs under the emergency powers law while he appeals the trade court's decision. So there's the rest I would just say is details, blah, 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 blah. By all means, feel free to read it. But this is big in the sense of like, this is a snag. It's not smooth sailing on this issue. Most likely it's going to have to go to appeals and yet again, go all the way up to the Supreme Court to probably get a fucking full like understanding on what is allowed and what isn't allowed. That being said, markets responded positively to this. So that's good. But once again, that's all a very temporary thing. You know what I mean? But it just kind of goes to show that yet again, this administration is almost going out of its way to eat its ass just to like try to make these kind of points, just to show power, show force, appeal to your base. Cause like with this whole mantra of like, we're going to build at home now and we're going to make the companies come here and build here. And it's like, dude, this is not cost effective. We are wasting everyone's time and everyone's fucking money here. Like what for potentially short incremental gains that are just can be completely wasted. Not to mention all of this tariff shit's gonna fall on who? The goddamn customer. We're gonna be paying for it at a pump, at a fucking grocery store, you know, anywhere and everywhere. We're gonna have to be paying more for it. You know what I mean? It's just not fucking worth it. So, you know, I'm happy to see Trump take an L whenever, however, but that being said, is this over? Of course not. It's never Jover. It's never Jover when it comes to old Donald. The rest of the Trump sphere bullshit, I kind of just want to machine gun through. I really don't want to spend too much time on. There's more pardon stuff, which I realized today, listening to it, there was like other people that he's pardoned. It feels weird that he's doing it so soon, right? And I like it's not at the end of his term. It's so early and it just kind of happens in these erratic ways out of nowhere. It's kind of hard for me to keep up. It's almost like he's trying to do this to like curry favor and balance out his bad approval rating or some shit. I don't know. That's speculation hat on there. We can throw that in the corner. Anyway, first thing, Trump commutes federal life sentence for Gangster's Disciples founder Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover Sr. is an American former gangster and street gang kingpin. He is founder of the Gangster Disciples, a Chicago street gang. Hoover was serving 6 life sentences at the ADX Florence Prison Facility in Fremont County, Colorado. Now, that being said, he is still serving time. His sentence is commuted, not fully pardoned, so he's not just like getting out or whatever. That being said, there, I think, have been appeals for him to get out. There's obviously way more details to go through when it comes to Larry Hoover. I mean, shit, I haven't really thought or learned much about that guy since I was like a teenager watching American Gangster on BET. That was a fucking good ass fucking TV series. I love that shit. But that being said, that was a surprising pardon. I didn't expect that, but he did that. Another one that was honestly more surprising, especially if you don't remember Trump from last term when he did his first term. Trump pardons rapper NBA Youngboy, who was sentenced for gun-related charges. Also, there's another one from Axios saying he was involved in a Utah drug ring. A very known rapper. I would say not my cup of tea. I'm not a NBA Youngboy guy, per se. I'm sure I've heard him on some songs, and I'm sure I like said songs, but I don't really go out of my way to listen to him. That being said, once again, it's weird because I feel like when Trump does this shit, this is like him maybe thinking like, this is the most progressive thing I could be doing right now. You know what I mean? Because like, they know I don't like rap. You know, they know I'm not really with this shit. But yeah, here I am. NBA YoungBoy, who's this guy? You know, I like the cut of his jib. Let's get him out. Like, he did this shit with Kodak Black, and my jaw, like, almost to the floor. Because I'm like, why, dude? Like, and I'm not even saying this because I'm like, I'm definitely not pro Kodak Black. Like, I don't think Kodak Black should have been let out, if I'm being 100% honest. I mean, y'all know how I feel about the fucking justice system and shit, but sometimes that guy's not good. He's not okay. And he's come out and he's kind of, maybe not looking the greatest, but hey, that is up for debate. And, you know, for another podcast another time. That being said, this was you know, another pardon, and I don't know, maybe it'll help curry favor in the black community. I do think this shit does affect people though. Like, I do think it has an effect. Because once again, like, it's weird for me whenever I'm talking to people in the black community or in, like, with other people of color, and they like Trump. Like, they just fuck with his vibe. They fuck with his flow. They really think he's like a good businessman who, like, is kind of down with black people provided they have enough money, which I think once again enables this notion of like, well, then okay, then like maybe he would fuck with me if I was just super fucking rich. Yeah, he would fuck with anyone who would potentially give him money. Like, yeah, duh. Like, in that regard, Trump will fuck with you, but that doesn't mean he's good for you, especially you, guy who has no money, who's talking to also me, my broke ass. We are both broke bitches, okay? You might have more than me, but you're not in his tax bracket, bro. He don't give a fuck about you, bro. And I guarantee you, he doesn't really give a damn about NBA YoungBoy or Kodak Black or any of these fucking people. This is all for vibes. It's all for weird vibes. None of these people, like, straight up, should not be pardoned, in my opinion, dude. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, maybe if we wanted to get into the weeds about Larry Hoover, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a while since I thought of that guy. I was once again very, like, scratching my head, like, what? Oh, okay. Anyway, another Trump thing I wanted to hit that I low-key also didn't want to hit. Let's just we're running the title real quick. From NPR, RFK Jr. says COVID shots no longer recommended for kids and pregnant women. This is pretty big in terms of just like a sea change from this administration. They've also in some ways walked it back, only in the sense of like, he announced this in a video that he posted on X, the fucking everything app. But there are a whole slew of protocols that you're supposed to go through before this is fully enacted. And RFK's like, this is what we're just gonna do. Okay, all right, you don't need to do this anymore. Like, bro, you need to, like, go back and actually make sure this shit is official. Like, go through the right fucking protocols before we, like, greenlight that. But okay, whatever. And straight up, y'all, if I'm being honest, I don't really like talking about COVID anymore. I'm not saying that it's not a non-issue. I do believe it is still an issue. I personally feel like these should be options that are on the table, and that, yes, the insurance should be footing the bill for this shit. You shouldn't have to go over the rivers and through the woods and have to pay an absorbent amount of money to get a COVID shot. Now, I don't know what the current state of the COVID shot is as of this moment, or post this becoming like fully concrete or whatever. And I mean, hey, however you feel about COVID now, or however, you know, whatever, like that, fine, cool. But like, you should have this option, especially if you're in this kind of situation that you are like a baby, you know, very young, you're pregnant. Like, these people should have the option to get the COVID shot. Also, if you're immunocompromised, that should be a major fucking, like, swath of people who should just be able to get it however, whenever, and it shouldn't be like a fucking challenge. But here we are, you know what I mean? Essentially, to my scant knowledge, I think it's maybe if you're like, you know, in 65 and up or some shit, like if you're elderly, those are the only people who are like, yeah, you can get the COVID shot. Like, it's just like the flu shot, that's fine, whatever. But like, they're making it harder for pretty much everyone else. And who does that benefit? Is that for the people, RFK Jr.? Is that for them? Or is this to appease fucking insurance fucking, you know, companies or some shit? Who is this for, bro? It will forever irk me that in the minds of some people my age, some of my peers, that like RFK is for the people. Motherfucker, no, he's not, dude. That frog and throat motherfucker is not for you. He's for himself. He's down to line his pockets. He will pump any conspiracy up your fucking ass if you will believe it and fucking give him attention and time and read whatever book he fucking makes. If it gets him into this whole fucking thing where he can make America healthy again, then like he doesn't care. He'll do it, dude. It's nothing to this fucking guy. It's nothing to any of these motherfuckers, dude. This is a rogues gallery of pieces of shit. All right, like what's Christy Nome doing besides like trying to get as many photo ops as you fucking can, dude? Like all these people are fucking scammers. They're fucking bullshit artists, dude. It's crazy that they are in power. And don't get me wrong, that's tale as old as time. On the right and the left, but like these motherfuckers are like the worst. Like you make comic books out of assholes like this. It's wild to me. Anyway, I'm going to take a water break and then we're going to fucking get back to the rest of the news. We're leaving the Trumpverse. I'm done. I'm washing my hands of it for the rest of this day, okay? And let's talk about a landslide. Let's talk about a natural disaster, okay? All right? Things we can't change, all right? Things I didn't, no one voted for that, you know? Ugh. Okay. From CBS News. Search suspended for missing man after partial glacier. I don't know why I was about to roll my R there. After partial glacier collapse causes landslide that buries 90% of Swiss village. Now, I have the picture of like the aftermath of like the flooded village, but honestly, it's like breathtaking. It's scary. It's like awe-inspiring to see this landslide. It is I don't say this often, it's like a biblical proportion. I don't know, it's like what the fuck. Anyway, the search for a 64-year-old man was suspended Thursday due to unsafe conditions after a huge mass of rock and ice from a glacier crashed down a Swiss mountainside the day before. Excuse me. The landslide sent plumes of dust skyward and coated with mud nearly all of the alpine village that authorities had evacuated earlier this month as a precaution. State Councilor Stephane Ganzer told Radio Television Suisse that 90% of the village was destroyed. An unbelievable amount of material thundered down into the valley. The Reuters news agency quoted Matthias Ebner, a spokesperson for local authorities, as saying, "We lost our village," Blatten Mayor Matthias Bellwald told a press conference, according to Reuters. "The village is under rubble. We will rebuild." The regional government said in a statement that a large chunk of the Birch Glacier above the village had broken off, causing a landslide, which also buried the nearby Lanza riverbed, raising the possibility of dammed water flows. As a precaution, 16 people were evacuated late Wednesday from the two villages located downstream from the disaster area. That all being said, it's still very unfortunate that someone is now missing out of the situation. Obviously, hopefully that he is found. I know that this search has been canceled, but hopefully it's not the worst. You know what I mean? But apparently this area has been really going through it. I think they said on like the other side of the country. I might be getting this a little bit wrong. I just heard this today, but they had been on a longer term evacuation, and they can only go back every once in a while, like periodically when they feel like, okay, this is as safe as it can be, or you really got to go back. We got to allow people to go back to kind of check on their homes, get things, whatever, because they had to leave because they realized this is a threat. This could go down any given day and this whole town would be leveled like this town. So we can't have you stay here. You know what I mean? We kind of have to wait for it to happen. So that's obviously very unfortunate. It's very scary. Also, we can definitely have the global warming conversation here because, if we didn't have climate change to deal with, these glaciers would still be firm. They'd still be up in the mountains doing their fucking thing, But with the changes that we have year after year, shit is getting worse, warmer. These things are going to be inevitable. We're only going to see more of this stuff. So yeah, I mean that's unfortunate. Once again, I mean I'm glad that the losses have been at a minimum, but imagine having to leave your home like this, like so, like out of the blue, and then you never know when you're gonna be able to get back, like, and what you're gonna come back to, if and when this shit goes down, literally. So, I saw this and I was like, yeah, we do cover our share of natural disasters. Yeah, I mean they have some other recap, history stuff, but hey, I already gave my extra story. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to a story I just kind of rolled into listening to the BBC. Couldn't really find like a big what's the word news outlet to run this out of, but I did hear this initially from the BBC, from France 24. Not that France 24 is small or insignificant, but not one we usually go to. Anyway, state of emergency in Panama after strike leads to layoffs. Workers went on strike a month ago in the province of Bocas del Toro, blocking roads and halting school instruction to protest a pension reform approved by Congress. Construction workers have also been striking for the past month over pension reforms. The state of emergency declaration allows the government to speed past bureaucratic hurdles to address economic or social crises quickly. Bocas del Toro lives off tourism and banana production. And so because of this, they can say, actually, fuck the workers' rights. Fuck that shit. We're going to ring the bell, call it a state of emergency, and we're going to get fucking weird with it. We're going to get wicked. Like, that's not good. Boo to that. Stinky to that. No. In fact, get your fucking tomatoes out. I know we haven't fucking dusted those off in a while. Chiquita, which employed more than 7,000 workers, laid off about 5,000 of them last week for what they called unjustified abandonment of work. Oh, so you're going to fight for your rights? Get fucked. Like, that's what that is. And once again, it doesn't sound like they're getting supported here by their nation state. It sounds like Panama is going to say, fuck you. Stop blocking the roads. We're going to do whatever to make sure that you get off the roads or get back to fucking work. The company claims the strike has cost it $75 million in losses and caused irreversible damage to the production of bananas. Tequila can't make all the bananas they want for cheap. Fuck you, dude. Like, God forbid you pay a motherfucker what, like, let's just be real here. We are talking about people who are making situations that it's not livable. If you were an American put in this situation, you couldn't do it. You wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying, look, dude, you have to pay us more money. You just have to. We need more. And they're like, no, get fucked. We want you to die. Like, low key, dude. Like, literally the government is stepping in. I just hate to see this shit. However, whenever, like, your government is supposed to come to support you, not the fucking corporation. But the way this shit always works is, well, the corporation is paying us more money. We get more having them here and making sure they stay here, fucking pumping you for as much as they can. So it's fuck your rights every time, almost every time, in one way or another. You know what I mean? If it's not fucking right wing Panamanian president Jose Raul Molino, then it's fucking Joe Biden. You know what I mean? It's goddamn Joe Byron. You know? It doesn't matter. These motherfuckers don't care about us. It's not about that. It is about saving face for these fucking companies so that they can get their bag. It's about goddamn bananas, not people. So, boo. Tomato. Fuck Chiquita. Anyway, we have one more story that I wanted to cover. We've made it. We've made it to the end. Actually, pretty decent time, all things considered, for the amount of, road we've covered. Maybe not well, but hey, A to Z, baby. That's what it's all about. Anyway, I want to say shout out to my homie, Christina. She put me onto this story. I ain't heard this story. I ain't seen this story since I got it from them. So thank you. Thank you, my G. Please, always send me stories. There's a chance that I will run it because I need it. I want to talk about this shit. I want to yap about the news. And this is interesting. So let's go ahead and do our last break. And then we got to talk about some bad kush. Okay. Okay. Now I got this from Local 12. I think the original source might have been the New York Post. Yuck. But hey, we'll take it however we can get it. Attendant facing decades in prison after bust involving new drug made of human bones. New drug unlocked. Um, a former flight attendant was arrested at an airport following a large drug bust involving a new synthetic substance that is reportedly made of human bones. 21-year-old Charlotte May Lee of South London, England, was taken into custody earlier this month at, oh god damn it, Bandaranaki Airport in Colombo, the capital of Sri Lanka, after authorities found allegedly 101 pounds of a dangerous new synthetic drug. So this is confusing to me, right? Because I just said the words human bones. That's organic. Okay. And now we're talking it's new synthetic. It's a synthetic drug. What's going on here? What kind of weird science is this? Now we're going to read a little bit further. We're going to get to it. The publication reported that Lee allegedly smuggled in a suitcase full of kush. I put that in quotations. A new synthetic cannabinoid that originates from West Africa. I already don't like this. Obviously, the bones part fucking sucks. Not into smoking human bones. I'm smoking on that bone pack, bro. I'm smoking on that Jerry pack, cuz. No. But it's misleading to say this is kush to me. I mean, maybe we're talking about like origin, like language, origin stuff or whatever, but it's like, it seems like there's being an equation to weed here, to marijuana here, and I don't like that. I'm sure I say cannabis, use the right word. I know my professional stoners maybe want it cannabinoid, whatever. Look, I'm a weed guy. Anyway, a report from NPR, it's NPR, not MBR. I wish I was drinking a PBR, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, a report from NPR states that kush first appeared in the West African nation of Sierra Leone around 7 years ago and is described as a drug routinely cut with various additives, such as the following: acetone, tramadol, which is an opioid, formalin, it's formalin, yes, and also an opioid, and a chemical used to preserve bodies. Motherfuckers are smoking on embalming fluid? They're smoking on the bone and embalming fluid? What? Like, that's no good, dude. It makes me sad to hear this. Even like more sad to hear addiction to kush is reportedly fueling incidents of grave robbing in Sierra Leone, with authorities tightening security at cemeteries to prevent sites from being disturbed. Motherfuckers is so hard up for this drug, they're grave robbing to get the fucking source. Yo, like that's wild. Excuse me. A lawyer representing Lee told the BBC that the stash of kush, which reportedly holds a street value of $3.3 million, was planted without her knowledge. I mean, okay, girly pop. I mean, hey, I want to believe you. When speaking to the Daily Mail, Lee said the kush was likely planted in her suitcase while she was in a hotel in Bangkok, also telling the paper, "I know who did it." Yeah, you know who did it because probably you. Oh, look, I mean, hey, I wish him the best, though I will say this drug does not sound good. I'm not rooting for this drug. I mean, apparently it's been around for years. I ain't fucking know that shit. But, hey, for good reason. I'm not on that shit. I'm not on that kush. I'm not on fucking crocodile. I'm not taking any weird fucking drugs. Okay, y'all. If y'all know me, y'all know the shit I like. Okay, and y'all know the shit I don't fucking like. All right, you know, real ones know. I ain't on this shit. This is weird. This is not good. I don't even want to know what the high is like. No thanks. I've seen various pictures. Most of them do not look good. At best, I've seen some like comparisons that maybe it's like almost like almost like a white spice or something like that, or like maybe sometimes it might even be like a keef looking kind of thing. But like, no man, if it's anything like the thing I got in my thumbnail, I ain't smoking on that. Get that shit on my fucking goddamn face. Ew, dude. I'd rather just go sober than smoking on bone. You smoking on human bones, bro? I don't want to smoke on any bones, by the way. I don't want to smoke on any bone whatsoever. Insert animal bone, I'm out. It's a no from me, dog. So there we go. Let's see. Uh, I don't know about her time. I might be getting this wrong, but oh yeah, Lee faces up to 25 years in prison if convicted of smuggling. So yeah, I mean, she could get locked up for that shit. Yeah, that is what it is. If I hear any more about this case in particular or Kush in general, once again, Kush with quotations, I will be back. I will be back to report. And once again, please, please send me your news. I love it. I love it. But that's all I have for today. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have Patreon, patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Roll call's coming up. You know what I mean? And do the shout out. We do the thing. It's top of the month. Free ways to hit me up. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on TikTok. Follow on Spotify. Follow on Apple Podcasts. We love a new follow. We always appreciate it. It's super good for the algorithm. It's super good for my ego. I love seeing a new subscriber on my YouTube. It's cool. It makes having a dashboard worth it. and you know what makes me sad? When I see someone unfollow. That happens sometimes. Sometimes people just they get on here and they're like, ew, what the fuck is this? This shit sucks. And hey, that's your right. That's your prerogative. But just know you're breaking my Tuscaloosa heart. But hey, you do what you gotta do. Anyway, leave a like though. Leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. It's always appreciated. But you know what I really love? You know what means the world to me, means the most to me? It's just you listening. It's just you saying, you know what? I'm going to press play. See what happens. What is Isaiah up to today? What's he going to talk about? That means the world to me. I cannot stress that enough. It is nice to be able to reach out, even if it's via the internet, and know that I'm having at least some kind of effect. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm changing the world, I'm making it a better place. No, maybe I'm making it worse. Sometimes. I don't know, maybe, possibly. But I appreciate you caring enough about me or this project or whatever, or just having nothing better to do, that you're willing to just say, hey, I'll give them some of my time. That's cool as fuck. You're real as fuck for that. And I love you. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.